What is going on, guys? Poketism here, back with another market update video. If you like the content, consider dropping a like, maybe even a comment saying SpaghettiOs, and a subscribe if you want to see more content like this. On this channel, we talk about Pokemon investing. If you're new, welcome, welcome. And today we are going to jump into our based and beta comments of the day. So for our based comment of the day, we have Planet Sleeve, it looks like. Channel deserves to be bigger very early. Thank you for the kind comment. I appreciate that base comment. And then we have our beta comment of the day from Music for Studying Down-Tempo Vibe saying, agree, he doesn't know WTF he's talking about. Thank you so much, Music for Studying, for the beta comment of the day. If you have something nice or angry to type in the comments, definitely drop below and you may be featured in the next beta and based comment of the day. All right. So without further ado, let's jump into today's topic, which is mostly going to be prismatic evolutions related. So I pulled up on price charting here, Evolving Skies' price movement since release. So we got Evolving Skies back in around February, March of 2002. And then we're looking at booster boxes at around $140, $170, slowly rising up. Year goes by. Those gains have doubled. And then we make it to April where the set rotates out. So set rotates out in April. So from release to April, we went from a $140 box to a $658 box. Reason being is the set is just filled with banger after banger evolutions. And historically speaking, when sets are rotating out or close to the end of their print run, people think, oh, this is the last opportunity I can get in, and it's not going to go much lower than where it's at now. So as we have this ramp up into April, where we cool off just a tad after the set rotates out and we level out for a bit. And, 5-6 months later, we start working up. And now here we are in, 2026 looking at $2,500 a bundle or a booster box. So you may be asking, Poketism, why are we talking about Evolving Skies? We know that it's been performing really well. Well, back in the Evolving Skies days, it was a different time, and the demand is not as insane as it is now. And we're not getting as much product printed back then as we are now. But my point is that Evolving Skies to many people was clearly the winner of the Sword and Shield era, and to this day, it still is, and it's performing quite well. So why am I bringing this up? Because Prismatic Evolutions, I believe, is going to be doing the same thing here in, just over a year. So next April, Prismatic Evolutions is going to be rotating out. Now, I have my beef with the Pokemon Surprise Box and Sam's Club bundle booster bundles themselves, because they have these little stickers on the side that you can peel off to pull out packs, replace packs. Not saying people are doing this, but if somebody out there was feeling a bit malicious, they could open all these packs, weigh them, or open all the booster bundles, weigh them, swap them out with other packs, and make it look like it's never been opened. So I just don't trust the bundle itself. But this package, however, is a fantastic deal and probably the best deal on Prismatic at this current time, even at its prices right now of about $102. So on average, we're looking at Prismatic Evolutions packs around $10 to $11 a pack. And that's just loose. So that's without pack premium or sealed product premium. What do we get here? So we have 6 packs in the Prismatic bundle, 4 in the surprise box, plus a promo card, which are also pretty sought after. So we got 10 packs there. So just pack value itself, we're looking at somewhere from $100 to $111. So right now, you are per pack that you're spending on this product, you are getting it below, or now as of like today, you're getting it right about its pack value. Now, if we were to split these into two separate products and sell them individually, however, uh, the surprise box by itself goes for $53.90, and the Prismatic booster bundle goes for about $75 now. So, as most Pokemon investors who've been in this hobby for a bit and saw what happened with Evolving Skies, you guys know that this is a very, very good play. And we are about a year through the Prismatic print cycle. Only 1 year left. So the odds of us getting big Sam's Club drops like this are slowly going to decrease over time. I'm sure there will be plenty more print waves of Prismatic due to the demand. But even with the amount of print waves that they've been doing, and Pokemon Company making an official statement that they're going to be printing to demand, the product continues to be eaten up like crazy. Rip and shippers are a huge factor in this, being part of the most ripped set of all time. The chases are continuing to climb. The PSA 10 variants of the cards are also continuing to climb. The set will continue to be opened like crazy due to those people chasing the PSA 10 SIRs. The odds of you getting a PSA 10 when submitting a Umbreon, for example, that you pull are about 30%. It's like a 30% gem rate. I think we'll have to go over all the gem rates of the hits in a future video, or we might be able to pull it in later this video, but that's not my main point of this video. So as of late, I rolled out of some of my Sword and Shield product just to flip it over into Prismatic or these Sam's Club bundles. I had a great ride with Sword and Shield, and I believe it will also have a future that is just fantastic. I'm more of a short-term mindset kind of person, so if I've had some Sword and Shield now for about 2-3 years, I've done very well, and it's time to take some of that money and put it into something that I believe is going to give a higher ROI in the future, and that I don't mind touching for another year or two. So rather than having the I'm going to hold for 5 years mindset, especially during how crazy the market has been as of recently, it's, if you've been in the hobby for a while, you have plenty of inventory of stuff that you've been accumulating, and I think it's good to shave off those profits and take advantage of it. For those of you who are new entering the hobby, this is going to be a tough time to really set yourself up for success in the future if you don't already have some sort of inventory built up. So that's where you take opportunities like Prismatic here, where the price per pack is lower than market value of loose packs, and the individual products that sell as high as they do on their own, you're basically getting $126 worth of value here for under $100. Now, I was snagging these up anywhere from $90 to $98, and I think I have set myself in a position where I am happy with how many I got at those prices. And who knows? We'll see how the price shifts. If we do retrace and come back and check these $92 a bundle support areas, then that, my light just went down. Hopefully, okay, yeah, I'm still visible. We will see how things play out. You can kind of see that the volume of these being sold each day is slowly decreasing as the price is going up, but I still believe that this will continue to go up as long as the price per pack are cheaper than the current loose pack market. So when we get close to the loose pack price, I'm sure we might flatten out a bit. Or if the market deems this to be as valuable as each product individually, then that's something also to keep in mind. So surprise box, interesting enough. I had a big fall off here. I think this was when we had a big surprise box print wave. And then you see that massive volume spike there. 89 sold at $41. That's quite the grab there. And I think just that volume itself may have pushed the price up the next couple of days or so or weeks and got to 45, then a little smaller correction down to 40, 42. There's one that says 27. One sold for 27. Probably an open bundle or loose packs in the promo. I'm not too sure. So now we are picking up in volume on the surprise box by itself. And we're looking at $47.95, sales between 42 and 53. I think below $45 isn't too bad for the surprise box by itself. But I still believe that this is the better product as of right now, the best product as of right now. And so with this surprise box, I'm sure we're going to see plenty more of these. They also have the promos inside, and the promos are getting about $5 each or so besides the Umbreon. I believe the Umbreon has a higher price tag. So if we're talking just about pack price and promo card inside, price per pack is less than market for the surprise box itself right now. But this is also, we're working our way back up to previous highs. I do think we'll eventually get to that $54 mark again, but I just hope that Pokemon does keep printing these and we can kind of accumulate down here, pick up a couple more surprise boxes below $45, keep pushing them out. Only have a year left of the Prismatic cycle. I'm going to continue to beat that into the ground here, that our opportunities to get these at close to MSRP prices are running out. And also, because we're getting them close to MSRP, I also believe the downside risk is not as bad as some other products. For example, like talking about the Evolving Skies booster box right now. Fantastic buy, right? But you got to be willing to sit on that for 2, 3, 4, 5 years for it to become like a $5,000-$10,000 box. And I just see a lot of more short-term potential when it comes to Prismatic Evolutions. From being in this hobby for so long, whether it be collecting or investing, is when things start to rotate out, human psychology is always consistent. People are like, oh, this is my last chance to get it. Everything swings up. And then when that liquidity enters the market and people can't keep things in stock on their store and people are outbidding each other on items, paying over market, and prices just start going up and up and up, that's where you try to exit. You try to collect some profits. In order to be successful in this hobby, you do... Jeez, my light just fell really bad. Okay, so to be successful in this hobby, you have to understand that in order to build up your portfolio, you have to take advantage of price fluctuations going up and collecting some of those profits. And don't all put all your eggs in one basket, but if you were to put a lot of eggs in a basket, Prismatic's pretty good. Going off on quite the tangents today, but I love talking about this stuff. All right, so let's take a look at the booster bundle prices. So here's an example of the Sam's Club booster bundle with the sticker on it. So if we take a look here, let's do a little deep dive. So this doesn't have me too confident that this hasn't been tampered with, which is why I don't think that this is a good buy on its own. But if we take a look at market and we see that unopens are going for about 75, we look at most recent sales, 76, 71, 71, 74, 74. So the Sam's Club bundle ones are going for about $72, whereas maybe the regular shrink wrapped ones are going for about $4. Or sorry, $4 more. So $76, $77. Now, if we take a look at about a week or so ago, these were even a couple weeks ago, these were around $65 to $60, and they've just been tearing. And they keep going up. So when these big booster bundle drops happen, like the GameStop ones, and all the product gets bought up, and there's not enough on the market, then we start seeing the price slowly continue to go up. So could be all of us closet hoarders hoarding all of our Prismatic, or you know, could just be that there's so many rip and shippers and people out there wanting to get their hands on this product and open it because it's it's an exciting set to open. I wouldn't say it's a fun set to open, which is why we call it traumatic delusions, right? Or the community itself calls it traumatic delusions. But if you can find one of the non-Sans Club bundle ones with the shrink wrap on it, around $70, I think that's pretty good. We'll have to see how many more of these are going to be entering the market as time goes on. So I did pull up the loose packs here just to take a brief look and see what they're going for. So yeah, about that $10 mark. There's a couple below that, but the loose pack price is good to get an idea of making sure you're getting decent value for where you're putting your money. For example, right here, decent value, 10 packs altogether in this set, which pulls you at $100. And we were having sales below 100 at 95 and such the past couple of days, which is where I was trying to pick up as much as I could. So we'll have to see if it cools off again, but this just all makes sense to me. Sam's Club bundle that's still sealed, not the two separate pieces. Pretty good value. If you were to separate the two, then it's $126 in value. Even if you were to value the Sam's Club bundle as what they're selling at on the website here, then you're looking at $120 in value. So you're basically getting $20 extra for getting this, or getting this product here. You're getting pretty much a free $20 if you were to just split them and then sell them separately on the market. Now, the Prismatic Evolutions Elite Trainer Box has been doing extremely well. Now, this may be an unpopular opinion when it comes to Prismatic, but I feel like my opportunity to really position myself in Prismatic Elite Trainer boxes the opportunity has passed. I have no doubt that this will do very well in the future. I'm sure it'll probably be in 2 years. It'll probably be like a $300 to $400 Elite Trainer box, and that's not too bad at all. But I would prefer to be picking up Prismatic, where I can position myself for a better price per pack ratio, and that's where the Sam's Club bundle does it all, baby. That's where we're at right now. So yeah, I mean, we go back to the beginning of the year. These were about $120 to $140, and now we're punching 200. I'm sure we probably even have some sales at 200 if we take a look at 204, 197, 201, 4 bot at 197.99. People are definitely loading up on Prismatic. I just think that they aren't picking the best products out there. That there's definitely better options to get a higher ROI. And as soon as the spotlight moves over to those items like the booster bundles and the Sam's Club bundles, I'm sure that those will slowly be eaten up and catch up a little bit in price with some of these other products. Although I know that Elite Trainer boxes tend to carry a higher premium over just the bundles and the surprise boxes, etc. So, and some people are willing to pay that premium, so I get it. And then, as we will do each video, we're going to take a look at Ascended Heroes Elite Trainer boxes, and it does appear that the volume is still pretty crazy. It's about half as much as it was from March 7th to March 8th. So, but we're still getting 500 plus Elite Trainer boxes selling each day. Most of those were a bunch of the volume aided up from anywhere from $88 to $129. Yeah, that's crazy. So people clearly believe in this set, and I do believe in Ascended Heroes. I've picked up a couple ETBs just to have some exposure to the set, but I believe there's going to be many more opportunities to take advantage of this set. And I also believe that the booster bundles, when they are out, after they've had their kind of slump from release and they settle down on in whatever price for the market decides for them to be at, that's going to be my main target, especially after big print waves. Also, keeping your eyes open for Sam's Club bundles and Costco, Costco products that may do something similar with what they did with Prismatic Evolutions with an ETB and a booster bundle. So we're going to have to keep our eye open. I'm sure that Ascended Heroes is going to be taking up most of Pokemon Center's print runs. If I'm to be a conspiracy theorist here, I believe that Perfect Order and Chaos Rising are both sets, not super exciting sets. They're interesting enough, but I think that they may know that the community isn't going to get as excited about those sets as Ascended Heroes, which gives them the opportunity to take up more of their printing volume and push it towards Ascended Heroes. I have no doubt that Ascended Heroes is probably going to be the most printed set in Modern, probably more so than Prismatic, just because of how crazy the demand is for this. So we will just have to keep watching and seeing on how this does over time. If you like the video, definitely help me out with a like, a comment. Can be nice or a hate comment. I'll take them all. And we'll see you guys in the next market video. Peace.